another episode of DSTUDIO podcast. My name is Abdul Jabbar, and today I am representing Dynamic Solutions and Technology. The core purpose of these podcasts is to generate cognition about the benefits as well as highlight the benefits and impacts of D365 ERP and CRM capabilities for the businesses and for the businesses to make an impact to make the world a better place. Today's topic is going to be maximizing the potential of Microsoft Power Platforms. So in this episode, before the introduction of the topic, I have a couple of panelists, and I'm going to introduce them. Mr. Einar Larusen is Microsoft Power Platform evangelist and founder of the Power Platform Iceland user group. He started his career as a technical consultant and has over now 1.5 decade of Dynamics 365 integrations, uh, particularly with Microsoft Power Platforms. He is currently serving as a CTO and development lead for the Microsoft business applications at Crayon Consulting. I wholeheartedly welcome Mr. Einar Lorusen.
Yeah, thank you. Just one correction. I'm not the CTO at Crayon, so
Okay.
but I'm one of the Dynamics 365 and Power Platform leaders within the whole Crayon group, and this is what I manage for the Icelandic office.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, but I also do a bit of CTO stuff in Iceland. But yeah,
All right.
but no worries, it's fine.
Okay, so the other speaker, Mr. Muhammad Babar, is one of the senior most techno-functional consultant at Dynamics Solutions and Technology. He's extensively experienced in Dynamics Microsoft CRM and 365 implementation. For the last 5 years, Mr. Babar performed implementation, be it customization, configuration, integration for the various global clients. Furthermore, his experience in the functional areas of sales and marketing, service of customers, operations lead, and field service module is quite celebrated at DST. I welcome you both and thank you for the time that you took out of your busy schedule to join this podcast.
Thank you, Abdul Jabbar. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, in this episode, briefly, I just want to introduce the topic. In this episode, we will discuss about how inclusive and user-friendly technologies like Microsoft Power Platforms are opening up the world of automation possibilities for businesses across the world. So I just want to open the floor for the two of the panelists, and the discursive talk is over to you guys. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Abdul. Uh, I think you're on mute, Mohammed.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
there we
speaking while I'm mute. Yeah,
go. Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, welcome, very welcome, Anara, for the sessions. Basically, tell me about your CRM and Power Apps experience over the years and how you have found the Power Apps key elements like Power Apps, model-driven apps, Power BI, Azure, and as well as the Power Automate, Power Flow, and everything. So, can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, like Abdul mentioned in the intro, I've been doing this for quite some time. I started over 18 years ago, early 2004, when basically there wasn't anything called Dynamics. I was working with Axapta 2.0,
Yeah.
Damcard Axapta, the Danish solution, and that's a very we have a quite big, long background in Iceland and Nordics with those applications. And then I've just followed the growth of the application, and then Microsoft, of course, bought Damcard Axapta and started to launch Dynamics AX, which was quite a leap. And then, we went through 4.0, 2009, 2012, three yeah,
365.
minor, almost like a major versions within 2012 are 1, 2, and 3. And then today we have the cloud-based
Yep.
version, yeah, with Dynamics 365, which has also gone through quite a lot of changes and rebranding. So yeah, I've been living and working for quite some time within this world.
That's great. That's great. And about the Power Apps, like how you started the Power Apps in terms of like model-driven, Canvas, Power BI, or you can say Azure Logic Apps, and like that. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I started my career as a developer and a technical consultant. So I was always in and have always been in each and every project I've been on. I've always been the one diving in, taking care of technical things, and for example, with the old versions, both Accepta and Dynamics AX, there was some Internet Information Server configuration and installation, etc. You had to do, and I just had to learn those things. So yeah, I learned them on the job and did them, and I also did an integration between Microsoft CRM 1.0 and Accepta 3.0, hooking into some out-of-the-box web services that came with the CRM solution. And ever since then, and I think this was in 2004 or 5, I was always thinking, that
yep.
hopefully one day we will have a better way of doing things. And that's what I saw when Microsoft bought Accepta. And but we had to wait many years, and even still, when Microsoft was selling Dynamics 365, sales and customer enhancements and experience and all those applications, finance and operations, there was no integration between those two Dynamics 365 systems.
No, basically, as the CDS Microsoft provided, I mean, for the integrations between the CRM and etc. Finance and Operations 365 Online. So now it's basically helping very much about that, as you know.
Yeah, exactly. And
Come on,
that's the big game changer when Microsoft started to launch the Power Platform and the CTS, the Common Data Service, and the Common
yep.
Data Model, which we today call Dataverse.
Yeah, that was,
Uh,
and also the dual rights. Yeah, dual rights for the integrations for the both system, in finance and operations and CRM and with the other
yeah,
systems. Yep.
yeah, exactly. So
It's,
now you can get a company up and running with 2 or more Dynamics 365 applications, and you can do the integration through setup and configuration rather than some heavy bespoke development that you had to do in each and every case, basically.
yeah, in the web
So,
API at least.
so yeah, I really like this idea of the Power Platform, and I started to play around with Power Apps almost
Okay.
as soon as they were released, and Power Automate as well. So I've also been, following that growth and evolution almost from the beginning as well.
Yeah, basically between the power model driven and canvas, like these are the apps which are available in the markets, like we can use in the mobiles, and we have the custom pages also in the model driven in the canvas. So these are very helpful for basically with the small medium industries, enterprises. And listen, what are your thoughts about the Dynamics 365 current or earlier success with the Power Apps? I mean, can you put some lights on that?
Yeah, I guess you're thinking about how, especially small businesses, can utilize the
Yeah,
Power Platform to extend the Dynamics 365 applications and basically do more. And
yeah,
that's one of the things I am helping companies, yeah, here in Iceland and Europe as well. That's to get those Power Platform solutions and tools basically out to the masses, to the regular employees within the companies. They, in most cases, they know what challenges they have, and they know, what they would like to be able to do. And they, if you give them a tool like Power Apps and Power Automate, they can start to build apps.
yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you plug those apps into the standard system, and then you are starting to create solutions for the wider company, and starting to solve issues. All the hassle about the regular development, and having to have maybe a huge development department within your organization. So yeah, and the concept of fusion development, where you have, the regular people, which we usually call citizen developers, and then you have the professional developers doing stuff for the back end, creating web services, APIs, etc.
Yeah.
And then the infrastructure people, the IT department, and you bring all those together, and this just becomes a very powerful mix.
Yeah, it's agreed. Agreed. Basically, now we can basically make the mobile apps with the canvas, and it's deployed with the automatically in the system, and no need to have the coding as well. Basically, there's no coding environment. It is helping a lot. Basically, in my previous implementation, I delivered a 2 to 3 canvas app with model-driven apps. Like it's helping very lots. Like for the imply the benefits, bonuses, and everything. So we made for that. Yeah, agreed. Power apps helping a lot.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And
and also, yeah. Sorry, go
yeah.
on.
Yeah, please. I'm asking about the like as you mentioned, you provide the business about the small industries with the power apps. Can you give me some example, if possible? It's like for the audience, like they know about that, like they can get the benefit from that.
Yeah, yeah. I have been working with few of the largest companies here in Iceland, and the largest employers as well. And these are companies that have maybe 2,000-3,000 employees, 1,000 employees and above. So they are, yeah, they are quite big, but they have started their journey to implement the Power Platform and its various solutions, and they want to do it right, and do it well from the beginning, because they need to introduce this into their organizations. There has to be some adaptation, etc., and quite likely to meet some resistance within the company, etc., etc. It's a new
Yeah,
thing,
it's yep.
and then I've been then going in, working with them for a few days, going through the environment strategy, going through how to deliver solutions from development into test, so on and so forth, and helping them to spot the app makers, flow makers within their
Okay,
organizations, and then just set them off into the world of Power Platform. So
that's
helping them
great.
become, just more or less self-sufficient with their Power Platform needs, and then they can start to build and grow their own employees.
That's great. That's yeah, it's a very good example. And listen, basically, what about advice, recommendation about the business always existing that are not benefiting from the Microsoft Power Apps? ecosystem. So can you give, give us some advice for that system? As you know, you have very huge experience in the Power Platform and as well as development. So you know both. Like in the development, we face many challenges, as we mentioned, infrastructure and other issues, but Power Platform will overcome. So can you give some advice about that? Recommendations?
Yeah, how the are you then thinking about the benefits of using the Power Platform maybe versus the traditional development we used to do in the days? Or
Yeah.
yeah, on that then. So, for example, with the Dynamics 365 Finance and Supply Chain Management application, Microsoft has been locking that one down, and so back in the days we could modify the standard system just how we saw fit, but that has been stopped now, and that's not possible. So we have to extend, and in many cases we can utilize model-driven apps or Canvas apps or
Yeah.
even a portal to give an extra functionality to a set to the application, and the
And
main
the
benefit
it
the main
in
the main
sorry.
benefit
Yeah.
of that is
Yes.
the upgrades. So there are
Okay.
many systems out there that aren't basically you can't upgrade them because they have been modified so heavily.
Oh, that's great. So basically, you use the model-driven apps in Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation on the forms level, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's a very huge change and very huge beneficial. Basically, I saw coding in X++ is very difficult and making any change. It's required a lot of times. No, if it's available in the form, yeah, it's very huge beneficial for the development.
Yeah, exactly. And
That's
these are also just two different ways of you have two different processes and ways of working. You know, traditional
okay.
development and X++, Morphex, and or Visual Studio versus creating a cloud-based SaaS application that you can embed within the Dynamics 365 application, either as a part of an existing screen, into a new page, or the options and the possibilities are almost endless. So, and also Microsoft is this embedding experience across different applications is always growing. So it's you now we can embed Power Apps in Power BI reports
Yeah,
and
it's
so on and
perfect.
so forth. So yeah, it's
It's all, yeah.
yeah,
Regarding the reporting, yeah, it's a very beneficial report. Yes,
yeah, exactly.
that's great. Yes, Abdul Jabbar, thank you.
सर don't उसामा भी नहीं वो भी म्यूट कर दीजिए So I hope that these discursive points have been beneficial for our audiences, and I just like you to both of you to kind of wrap your minds around all the points or the key elements of the talk, and again to highlight the significance that for the prospective businesses which are not benefiting right now as of now about from the Microsoft ecosystem, including ERP and Power Platform system. So just to wrap up and just to entice them to use this system for their own profitability and efficiency, whatever the ecosystem is offering. Just few thoughts.
Yeah. You want some thoughts from me, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I would say wherever you are in the world, if you are working for a business has some of the Microsoft solutions and Dynamics solutions, but they are all more or less being used independently throughout the company. There is no cohesion and no greater plan for them. Then I just encourage companies to go and find a local partner in your
Yes.
area that specializes in Dynamics and Microsoft solutions, and they can get you on the right track to start to use those things better. And in some cases, when you start to do so, companies can decrease the licenses they have bought. So you can save money on doing this as well, plus all the benefits of having those systems that are meant to work together, having them working together as they're supposed to do.
Yes, I kind of agree with you because of the fact that local Microsoft partner, knows the indigenous industry better, the sort of, elemental points of the industry, customers, especially more importantly, customers of that indigenous country or, society, or beneficiaries of that indigenous societies. That local partner will going to help a lot. So I completely agree with you. And I just request Mohammed Babar to wrap up for us.
Yeah, and definitely. Yeah, and as Anand mentions, like the Microsoft providing whole solutions, like from its starting the sales and it's going to the finance, like from we starting from the leads and we getting the data to finance till its payment. So we Microsoft and we have Microsoft also providing the low codes like Power Apps, which today agenda, like there's no developer needed. Even anybody knows the Excel formulas. That he can build the apps. He can resolve their company issues. So definitely, it's very helpful to use the Power Apps in their small industries business. I think so. I definitely recommend to use their local partners and implement the Dynamics CRM and Power Apps and make their apps. That's way.
Okay, thank you, Babar. So to conclude, yes, Microsoft Dynamic 365 whole ecosystem, and especially today's topic was Power Platforms. So it is, helping a lot across industries, across, multiple continents. So we would like to, uh, all of you who are budding businesses and who are existing as well, who's not using the Microsoft ecosystem right now, Dynamics 365, that is, we would like you to get free demos and try to at least get a grasp over what Microsoft 365 has to offer to them. So that's pretty much from us, and we hope that you have now better understanding regarding Power Platforms, about its local, integrations and configurations. So that's pretty much from us, and I thank my both speaker and who have been in the industry for over a decade now. So just thank you guys for the taking out the time, and see you next time.
Yeah, thank you very much for
Thank you.
having me on the show.